Joining me now as President Trump marks 200 days in office is United States Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. Mr. Secretary, thank you for being with us here today.
Mr. Will Cain, how you doing?
Was troubling news. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Troubling news yesterday. I'm sure it hit you hard at the Pentagon, but pretty amazing actions taken as well by some of the men and women in uniform down there at Fort Stewart.
Well, no doubt, Will. I mean, praise God that all five, we believe, will be okay. And commend the absolute courage of soldiers who acted in the moment. That's what we trained them to do. That's what they should do. That's what they did. And, of course, we're going to throw the book at the perpetrator as we learn more for what was done there. But swift action and God's providence on those who survived this. And we'll investigate, get it done, and drive on.
Talking about the mission of those soldiers at Fort Stewart, I know one of your missions at the Pentagon is to make our soldiers, make our military tougher, to make it more rigorous, make it hard. And as part of that, you've made make basic training great again. You're returning drill sergeants. Tell me, what is the shark attack? What are some of the things you're bringing back to basic training?
Well, it's the basic stuff that anyone who went through any form of basic training for decades understood is, as a recruit, you were going into a crucible. You were going to be forged. You were going to be challenged. You were going to be scared, nervous, and anxious. And by coming through that, you were going to be forged an American warrior. A shark attack is when drill sergeants surround one particular enlistee, right? Creating a stressful situation that they have to figure out how to manage. Bed tossing inside barracks after you've had a long day doing, map out on the range or walking patrol. This is basic stuff. This is not, beyond what's been done. This is a restoration. So we're going to do two things really well. We're going to do the complex stuff really well. We're at the 200-day mark. In the last 100 days, we did Operation Midnight Hammer with precision. That's complex stuff that only the U.S. military can do. But we're also going to do the basic stuff well, Will. If you start soft, you end soft. If you aren't strong from the beginning, you won't finish the fight properly. It starts at basic training. It starts at our military academies. We are going back to basics. Drill sergeants will be drill sergeants with knife hands who maintain good order and discipline and train up great recruits who will make great formations, just like we need military officers with that same rigorous discipline and background. So we're going back to basics, and it's bearing fruit.
I'm not sure what a knife hand is. Is that what you're doing right now on television?
Boom.
Giving me the knife
Boom.
hand? I'm very
Boom.
familiar with the knife hand points being made by the Secretary. You're focusing on the basics, but you also said you're focusing on the big picture items as well. I know that when you came into office, President Trump tasked you with looking into our U.S. military's dependence on China and Chinese supplies of materials that are needed for our national defense. I know China has put a stranglehold on critical minerals. I think President Trump asked for significant advances from you by October. What's the update on our dependence from China?
Well, we've gotten after it from minute one. We will not be dependent on China. We won't be dependent on anybody else. The American military will be able to independently operate and operate decisively. We have to. And there's been neglect for decades. And President Trump has pointed out, to be the best, you can't depend on anyone else. But America first doesn't mean America alone. We'll stand alongside our allies. But we're going to be able to source our munitions, our minerals ourselves. We're doing it already. And we've got the best equipment, the best capabilities in the world. We're on hyperdrive. The one big beautiful bill that was passed gives us $150 billion more to invest in Golden Dome, in hypersonics, in securing our border, in long-range drones. You name it, submarines, we're investing in it, and it'll be sourced in America. Our logistics train, where we get all the aspects of the things we make, has to be sourced here. We're doing it. Our allies and adversaries understand that, and that only makes us more independent, more able to put America first, to drive peace through strength, and it's happening every day.
Okay, I want to ask you about a couple of different items that are in the news cycle. The Reconciliation Monument. It has been returned to Arlington National Cemetery following its removal in 2023. This is a Confederate monument. Many suggest it was designed and put in place to symbolize the reconciliation after the Civil War. It was taken away, as I mentioned, several years ago. Why was it important for you to bring that back to Arlington National Cemetery?
Because we recognize our history. We don't erase it, Will. We don't follow the woke lemmings off the cliff that want to tear down statues. we look at and learn from our history, all aspects of it. And so Arlington deserves to have, and we're grateful to the state of Virginia for partnering with us. It wasn't easy. We fought to make it happen. And the Reconciliation Monument will return to Arlington where it belongs, to recognize the service of Americans of all chapters. So we're not tearing stuff down. We're done with that. We're putting statues back. We're putting paintings back. We're recognizing our history. We're restoring the names of bases as we've done across the country, because we're proud of our history. As difficult as it may have been in some chapters, we're going to teach it, we're going to live it, and we're going to fight for it.
Okay, you heard me mention at the top of the show, Mr. Secretary, today is National Purple Heart Day. We expect within the hour to be hearing from the President. 100 different veterans being honored today on National Purple Heart Day. Tell us about what we should expect to see from the White House.
Well, you can't beat the gathering of folks you're going to see today. These are the best of the best in the country. This is a medal that goes all the way back to George Washington. You earn it for being killed or wounded in combat. I'm bringing folks of mine who serve with me who are Purple Heart recipients over at the Office of the Secretary of Defense, maybe soon to be Secretary of War. We'll see. Stand by, because that's what we do. We close with and destroy the enemy. And these Purple Heart recipients are going to be celebrated, as they should be, as we ought across the country in every civic manner possible. You see, we're putting the spotlight exactly where it belongs and where it should be, on those who give up everything, are willing to, for the country. We're proud of it. We give them everything they need. We're restoring the warrior ethos. And I think that's what you see from this. And you know what? We didn't even talk about the recruiting numbers, Will. I mean, in the last 100 days, meaning of the 200, we've set historic records, and that's because courageous young Americans want to do what previous generations did of those recipients who got the Purple Heart. They want to do tough, gritty things to defend freedom. These men and women have done it. We're going to celebrate them today. President Trump loves them, and they love him, and it's a pretty cool thing that we're doing at the White House today.
It is very cool. It's very cool. Did I just hear you say, by the way, is that something we should expect? Secretary of Defense, Secretary of War, Department of Defense, Department of War?
Well, that's what it was for many, many years. You gave me that knife hand, Will. We'll see. Stand by. I don't get in front of the commander-in-chief on that. But our job is to ensure our enemies know exactly what they will do to them if they threaten us, up to and including total war. So we'll be prepared. Stand by. There might be some news on that.
Okay. All right. Thanks for teaching me what a knife hand is. It's a great way to make a point. I've got to work on that. People say I do weird things with my hands. Now I have something new to do. So I appreciate that.
Well, it's not the
Mr.
first thing
Secretary.
I've taught you. We know that. Yeah, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.